Hey, loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am this afternoon, morning, whatever you want to call it. It's like 11:37 a.m. over here on the East Coast. So most of you guys in the world are already well into the day. But then there are some people that are, still in the West Coast and so forth that are it's still pretty early in the morning. So shout out to all of y'all, but it is almost 12 o'clock here. I got a couple hours between my early work and my evening work today. So I figured I'd get on here and just kind of bust it up with the loungers a little bit and talk about the sector and, some of the, oh shit. What's up, loungers? I hope everybody is doing as great as I am today. Listen, guys, it's still about 11:37, 11:38 or so here on the East Coast. It's almost afternoon, so I hope everybody is doing well today and everybody has a pretty productive day. I do have a couple of hours between work this morning and also this evening. So I figured I'd get up here and bust it up with you loungers real quick, kind of talk about some things that's been going on in the sector. And, some of these things really pull at my heart. And I definitely do want to talk about those things and just highlight a lot of those things this morning. We're going to talk about this unity stuff going on in the sector and what that really does mean to me. And, this whole thing about, reuniting as a sector somehow, I definitely do want to talk about that. But I want to be in particular about some things because I think there's, just some misunderstandings amongst the sector in regards to that, right? And I definitely think it's worth talking about. I'm going to bring up some old past things, some things that, will kind of remind us of what has happened here in this sector, some things that, we have seen in the sector and, why it just is kind of in the state that it is now. And we're just going to talk about that a lot today and, and talk about some things, some bombshells that came out yesterday and, different other things. Okay, we're going to talk about all of this. We're also going to have a bit of a conversation about Miss Svengalis again, okay, because I think that there are some more things going on that, deserves a little bit of a conversation with her. And so I'm definitely going to do that today. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in because, guys, we are about to get started on these hot topics right now. I hope everybody is doing great this morning, living life to the fullest. Appreciate you being in the building. The sister from across the pond. I know it's well into the day for you at this point. You're probably almost on your way home from work, probably at this point. But shout out to you, sis. I appreciate you being in the building. Hood Conservative, salute to you as well. You said salute to the godmother. Definitely appreciate that, bro. You said great morning, Miss T. Pre and the loungers. What's up, Clark? I appreciate you being in the building. And Teresa, my opinion, I definitely appreciate you as well. You said T, sister, and darlings. Hey, how you doing today? You said greetings to everyone. You said at Miss T Pre. You said, hey, T Pre in chat. What's up, Redbone with the new money? Definitely appreciate you and your support, sis, as always. Buck, definitely appreciate you being in the building today. Triggs, the bestie, definitely appreciate you coming in today. You said peace, Miss T Pre in chat. Always appreciate your support, bro. You said, good morning, Clark, damn, my opinion. You said, I'm chilled with folk. I'm chilling with, okay. I know that's right. I do agree with that. I'm not sure who this is, but I can't even read your name. So what's up happening? How you doing? Hope you're not saying nothing racist to my ass, okay? Just saying. You said, living life, happy new year. Definitely appreciate that. And you said, shout out to the godmother. At Black Lounge Divine. I appreciate you being in the building. Very perspective. Shout out to you as well. You said, yes, just got home, 4:41 p.m. Right. You know how I knew that? Because Divine was saying it the other day that it was like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm like, it's only 11:30 at night over here. I just knew that you guys are really, really far off from us. You said, happy new year to Clark. You said laughing my ass off, that part. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about a few things here. I think I'm going to start with anti, so I can just get that out of the way because honestly, I honestly don't want to keep going with that whole thing with anti. But she definitely does deserve a bit of a conversation, and I'm just going to. I appreciate that. Who just sent me that? Thank you. Appreciate that very much. All right, so yeah, I want to get her kind of just out of my spirit because we have a lot of things that I feel like we need to talk about that are pretty heavy, and I don't really want. This is going to be more light banter, all right? And I kind of want to deal with her first. But shout out to YM. I appreciate YM for all the stuff that she does. Hold on, guys. Let me put y'all on a quick timer real quick. It's only going to be like 30 seconds. Let me just see what's going on here. Bear with me just a moment. Okay, guys, my apologies for that, but I definitely appreciate my mods that are being in the building. And sometimes I have mods that are sitting here that are y'all can't see or y'all don't necessarily see them, but I appreciate all the hard work that they do for the lounge. Shout out to y'all, and yeah, definitely appreciate that. But we're going to go over a few things, but I really want to first start off with AAS. Let me finish out the comments real quick, and then I'll certainly go ahead and go there. You said, I haven't seen Brixton. Is he okay? Please give him my best. Yeah, I haven't seen him lately either. You said, speak your opinions, Queen. I'm going to respect it. Okay, bro. I definitely appreciate you coming in the building as well. And yeah, I don't have nothing bad to say about any of y'all. I want y'all to know that. And that's where the heaviness comes in for me, right? Because I kind of heard it in TC's voice. And I definitely want to talk about that. So we'll get into it, guys, for sure. You said YM. Yeah, I love me some YM, man. She get on my nerves sometimes, but I still love her for sure. For sure, I do. You said Clark, he's fine. I saw him on D's replay recently. Oh yeah, he comes in every so often. Like I don't think anything's wrong with him. I just sometimes people be at work and stuff, you don't really know what's going on. Oh, there he is right there. Hey, Brixton, see? There he is, listening in the clouds anyway. So shout out to you, bro. You said I'm here still at work. Okay. Yeah, I know you're over there with Living Life in them. So it's probably like almost 5 o'clock over there. But shout out to you for being in the building, at least listening in. I appreciate that. You said Living Life, cool. Hey, make a change. Appreciate you. You said I am late, but I'm here. You're not late at all. I actually just am about to get started on everything, but I'm trying to talk to everybody. You said, love you too, T. Pre. Oh, thank you. You said Brixton. You said, did I miss the roll call? Nope, you're here. You're here. So I appreciate you too coming in the building. You said, there you go, Clark. Right. That's funny how we were talking about him and, he just pops up, but that's because he be listening. And I have a lot of cloud listeners as well. Sometimes I listen in the clouds to people. Sometimes I'm not even available to listen to the conversation right there. But I definitely do be listening in the clouds, or I'll come back and listen and catch the replay sometimes. You said, make a change. You are now a troublemaker number 7 on my list, sir. And you said, Brixton, is you being Meghan Markle's side dude? He good. LOL. What's up, unadulterated? Definitely appreciate you being in the building. I know you ain't over there being Meghan Markle's side nigga, okay? You better stop it, my guy. You said, at Brixton High, see you missed when we don't go. We don't see you often. Right, exactly. Anybody in the sector is, though, and I kind of want to make some of that clear today on some things, but we'll get into it a little bit more. All right, y'all know what I do. I always kind of leave the comments and let y'all comment to yourselves, and then I come back to y'all after my commentary, because I don't necessarily want to lose sight of what I want to talk about. And anyway, like I said, I am going to go over and talk and look at YM's community wall. Okay. because there was something that she said. There was two things that she said. And the first one is about Rev G and anti, okay? And she said, Rev G sounds so stupid. Make sure y'all go over to the Critical Chronicles of YM, okay? And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you share her channel out, all that stuff, so that, you know, she has that algorithm going in the sector, okay? Because that's kind of what she has niched that channel down to, is pretty much talking about sector topics, okay? So she says, Rev G sounds stupid as fuck saying this, as he has only demonstrated that he's terrible at reading people and understanding what's going on around him, which I absolutely agree with her about that, right? Rev G has spent a long time in the sector just putting weirdos on a pedestal, and then, you know, people that have, you know, regular minds that really do, you know, understand life, and people that aren't, you know, silly in the mind. He always calls, you know, us like these monsters, and he's looking for where we work and where our parents work and all this other crazy stuff, you know. But people that are just doing this negative, crazy shit, he finds them just the most perfect people in the world. So I definitely agree with YM on that. And this is what Rev G was saying. And this is what she's talking about, that Rev G was actually saying. He said, if anti-Afro Svengali was the monster that y'all claim that she is, I wouldn't be rocking with her. Then he said, some of y'all are actually the monster that you claim that she is. And guess what? I am no longer rocking with, or never have rocked with y'all. Real talk. You know, there's only certain people that he could be talking about, because there's not many people that, and I'm not going to name many names, I'll say that, because there's several people actually that used to rock with anti. Not as many people as I thought, though, right? There was a time when I thought most of the women in the sector and other people in the sector were actually AFWs, when it turns out that's far from the case, right? There's actually people who like Lennon Honor. There were people that used to go to his chat and so forth and so on, but that did not put them in that AFW category. That AFW category was actually quite small, okay? Even though in her mind, because people supported the idea of getting rid of, or, you know, putting Dr. Umar in his place, she felt that these people were also people that she could trust with all this doxed information and all these other things. And it turned out most of these people were not, right? It was just kind of cool in some ways to have certain privilege and certain privy to certain information behind the scenes, but that did not necessarily put you as an anti-fraud warrior, okay? So I think nowadays, after 4, 5 years, 6, 7 years later, we now all understand that. I think that we all understand that anti was literally standing on an island by herself, and she was able to pull certain people into that island with her, but not most, okay? Not most people that were on that ship were not necessarily dealing with her in particular, okay? But again, there was certain privileged information that she would pass out, and those people were on one level of this information. And then there's an even further behind the scenes level of information that other people were connected with. So one of those people I am going to talk about today, because Anti has been the one making this very public. And obviously the two of them have had some things to say about each other on the community wall lately. Shout out to Mona DeLeon, right? Because she definitely is not scared of Anti. All this idea of her running from, you know, the inspector generals and all this other stupid shit, none of that shit is happening. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Okay. Now, as far as whatever goes on in, you know, with this whole thing, that's, I don't know, right? All I know is that nobody is going to jail, none of that shit. And I think we have talked about this ad nauseum at this point, right? So I'm not going to go there. What I did want to go there with is how Anti keeps trying to paint Mona like this monster, right? And this is what Rev G is doing as well, because we know that's who he wants to say, right? Because he used to rock with her, or Mona used to rock with them, and now she don't fuck with these motherfuckers, right? See, when Mona came over and started hanging out with us, she realized that we're not these monstrous people, that we're not these fucked up individuals. Just like everybody else who was fucking with them at one time now realizes as well, right? That, and people like, let me see your transcript. I'd like to talk about her for just a second. She realized that a couple years ago, right? She knew that TC and Darrell and myself, we were not these monstrous people that, need to be put in jail behind the stuff that Anti was claiming. When it was Anti and her higher level people in certain positions, as well as her own positions, that was collecting multiple people's information. Not only, people that like ourselves, where she was doxing addresses on Shakim and different things like that, dox my aunt's address, dox my Facebook, all kinds of stuff that she did. It was so many other things that she was trying to tie all of those connected people to her into at the same time. So she started collecting their information as well. This is something that Anti has been doing for years, okay? So this whole thing with the SS administration and all these people who are pulling people's alleged social security numbers and alleged where they work and all this other stuff. Well, the where they work part, yes. I don't know about the social security numbers because I still haven't seen anybody's full social security number. And I would definitely need that in order to use it against them, okay? And then they got to have a reason that somebody would want to use it against them too, right? Like good credit, for instance. Either way, what information that was seen based off of what I saw, damn sure pales in comparison to what I have now seen. Shout out to the recon teams, because I gave that information over to the Godfather. Yesterday, he had a show, a great show. And I ended up passing that information over to him because I wanted him to see how serious this was and who it came from. I also wanted him to understand the level of crying that this bitch is doing literally completely pales in comparison to the stuff that you were pulling on people. The kinds of things that you like to pass around to your inner circles, right? Yeah. See, Anti, the dates on a lot of this information and the stuff that you have said in regards to our dear Mona, I want you to go back in your records, bitch, of how long you've been passing people's information around, not only about them, but about their children, about their wives and husbands, about their parents, passing this information around, and then also sending payments to some people in order to attack these people, whether it's physically or whether it's financially, whether it's just straight up lying on them and just talking shit about it and using it against them. What kind of therapist, what kind of person who works in mental health should hold a position like that after using this level of power against people like this? One of the things I said the other day was, I don't really want to see anybody lose their job. I said, even Anti. And it surprised me that I said that. Because in the bottom of my heart, I don't, right? Like down, deep down in the bottom of my heart, I really don't. But for God's sake, if I had to stand up for a time that a bitch need to lose her fucking job, it would be right motherfucking now with you, bitch. And only you. Only you. It's the level of power that you have. It's the level that you can get to. Military records, medical records, where people work, how long they work there, their previous jobs. When does it end? It ends now. It ends now, Anti. We're no longer going to just sit back and let you keep doing this. We're not. This has to stop. Because if the train isn't stopped all the way, which it should have stopped with Harmonium, they should have took your license and your ability to work in mental health then. But the Most High gave your ass 10 motherfucking years to get your shit together. Over 10 years. And he watched you just continue to wreak havoc up to the heavens. He can smell it now. So now, everything that you have done is going to fall smooth on your head. It's already begun. You know it. You can keep running around with 20 people liking this and 10 people liking that because you're a narcissist and you don't think, you can't see beyond your bullshit. You have to go down on your sword. Because of that, this is why everything you have done is going to fall on your head. I wouldn't be surprised if these companies that you work for and these courts that you have been pulling people's information from through your sources don't get the fuck sued out of them. Because I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty sure there's others whose medical records have been released. I'm pretty sure that there's others whose job histories have been released. Pretty sure. I'm also pretty sure that you have released some of these people's information, like Rev G's. Not the newest, latest information, but previous information. To keep that nigga in line. That's a damn shame. And it's all coming to head now. It is what it is. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. Because the things that you have done is absolutely horrendous. Nobody has deserved any of this to this level. Yes, we are down with the fuckery. We love the fuck shit and all that. We love the trolling. This isn't trolling. And for those of you who call her the ultimate troll, I think you're unaware of what trolling should be. Because this ain't it. This is dangerous if we don't put this bitch to a stop. So all hands on deck. Y'all know what position she holds at Kepro. Put your complaints in. This is the time. This is the time. Trust me. I know. Let me get to y'all comments, and then I'm going to talk about some other things that came out yesterday on Pillz show. And, this is the heavy part for me because, yeah, you said not Meghan Markle. You said, I'll be listening. Okay. You said, Brixton, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? LOL. You said, in the clouds. Okay, Samba Queen, I appreciate you being in the building and your support, sis. You said, YM. Yep. You said, good morning, Samba. You said, Clark, living life to the fullest. Samba Queen. Good morning, ladies. Hey, Miss Murphy, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, hey, Miss T. Pre, mods and chat. You said, good morning, unadulterated. How are you, bro? You said, Ray, Buckabuck, make a change. West Bank, Officer Pillz. Hope you fellas are good. You said, damn, my opinion. Good morning, sis. You said, very true. You said, unadulterated, what's good? You said, UT. You said, living life, all is great. I hope you are as well. Also, you said, good morning, Miss Murph. You said, hey, sis, birds better not last to the bucks. Okay. You said, hey, living life. You said, UA. You said, unadulterated truth, great news. And apart from them, cold. I'm good, thanks. You said, it's all hot air from the short bus warriors. Word. You said, Miss M. You said, unadulterated. If they do beat TB, I don't think they'll win the next game. The Eagles are still spiraling. Oh, yeah. You said, living life to the fullest, hear you. You said, the godmother, I appreciate you, Vici, and all your support. My longest standing member in the building, definitely appreciate you, sis. Guys, we are almost 3 years in the game. It's January 11th today. On the 15th, I might go live on the 15th and just, talk about some hot topics in the sector or something. We'll see. But the 15th is a 3-year anniversary for Black Lounge Divine. That's how long we've been around. You said, your Facebook. You said, yeah, my Facebook, child. You said, damn, my opinion, girl, the sector has been sectoring while I was away. Child, yes, we have. You said, Vici, good morning to you. Hope all is well. What's up, Spotum? Appreciate you being in the building. You said, unadulterated big dog. You said, Miss M. You said, and my nose been nosing. You said, Officer Pillsbury TV, good to see you, bro. You said, good morning, Pillz. You said, Pillsbury. You said, hey, to my opinion, unadulterated, good morning. You said, good morning, Queen, unadulterated. You said, Miss M, we missed you, sweetheart. You said, living life, salute. You said, yep, very true, Pre. You said, if people got this information, it's time to put it out. Yeah, it is. It's time to have your conversations with Kepro in regards to that stuff. Anybody who has, I'm just going to put this out there, right? Anybody who has given her information in good faith, right? Because you really thought, sorry, I had to take a sip of my water. You really thought you were doing something right. I would start talking about that. You don't have to talk about it publicly, but you need to at least fess that up to who you've done that on, right? What information you have released to her, right? Or whatever. Because y'all know who y'all are. I'm not going to say nobody's name, but people know who they are. And it's several people. You said Pillz. You said, so what's the info? You said, what info? Oh, her job, she works at Kepro. And she is a PA. Hold on. Let me look that up again because I had it yesterday. Oh, I had it when I last talked about her. A PASRR, which is basically they do pre-admission screening and resident screening for people that have to see if they have serious mental health issues and what issues they may have and what needs to be what they need to do. She basically writes up plans. She helps with their with what like coordination of care and all that stuff. It's nuts. And she has to use Medicare and Medicaid systems because these are Medicaid patients. And so yes, you said, is Afro the real SSA bandit? She's worse than whoever the alleged SSA bandit is. Like there's a lot more that she is actually having pulled. And I have a hold of it. So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to say what it is because it's not my story to tell that. But I'm sure there will be a follow-up video very shortly in regards to that. But yes, that information was passed to me, and I know that it's real, and I know that it's definitely anti that's doing it. And you said Vici word in the street is messy Mona. Hey, in my opinion, I appreciate the $10 super sticker. I appreciate that, sis. You said buck a buck. You said shout out to a Villa. Okay. You said Black Lounge Divine. I remember when you announced you were going to do your first live. I think you was in the car headed home when you said so. Yeah, I think I was on Shakim show or something. You said, good morning, y'all. I managed to leave court today, a free woman. Okay, shout out to you, Steph. I appreciate you and all your support, sis. You said 3 years has gone by that fast. Yeah, for sure. You said she out here diagnosing people as spawn of Satan. Okay, it's ridiculous. Don't make no damn sense. Either way, guys, we're going to get off of this subject of her for a second, because I really do want to talk about the sector and the state of the sector, and kind of like why I believe we're even in this space now, right? Like why I believe that the sector is how it is, and what's been going on with the sector. But either way, yesterday, Pillz had a pretty funny ass show. Shout out to Pillz. The show was great. I laughed throughout most of the show. Some parts of the show was kind of heavy, and then other parts of the show was just, just funny. Like most of it was funny. Okay. So Pillz had a great show. If you guys missed it, make sure y'all go over there and check it out. Also, I listened to Gates' show this morning. Gates had a video that he posted, and you guys should go over there and check that out. He had a lot to say. And, it was kind of like a spinoff of Pill's show. He was kind of just basically giving his opinion, which he's entitled to, off of Pill's show. Okay. And the things that kind of came out on the show and so forth and so on. So the first thing I want to start with is Ghost, Pillz, Kip, and The Godfather, right? I absolutely love all four of them. I don't have no problem with any of them. I've never had a problem with any of them. I know me and The Godfather fell out at one time, but it was really short-lived, and, we were over that. But everybody else, like, I've never had a problem with y'all. And, any problem I did have was so small that it wasn't even worth, really fighting and beefing over or anything like that. So, but I've disagreed with y'all in the past, and I think that's been okay. I think y'all have disagreed with me, and I think that's also been okay. But, it is what it is. I still fuck with y'all. I would never, go and run around here turning coats, and I don't know what that would really mean. But, I'm not going to go and go somewhere else and be talking shit about y'all, right? There's no reason for me to do that. But there are people in this sector that, I just don't fuck with, right? I don't fuck with the same way. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And I don't have to run around, talking about them either, right? And I wouldn't. But I also am not about to be, coming out here in this, quote unquote, united front, because I don't really know what the fuck that means, right? If you go over to any other space on YouTube, yes, they have different sectors. They got Mo3. Y'all know about the Mo3 sector now. Y'all know about the beef sector now. Y'all know about the manosphere sector. You know about the adjacent sectors to the manosphere, like the woman sphere. And then there's just other people that, just go live because they have an audience, and they're not really in any sector. You know what I'm saying? But they just have an audience of people that kind of rock with them, that fuck with them. And most of us are branching off and starting to see that, right? They're learning these things. And so, within these spaces, there really isn't this whole camaraderie going on, right? I get what you're saying. There's certain people that have, they have their own audience. They've got people that rock with them within that space, and they've got their own set of audience as well. And so they all kind of fuck with each other. But it's not necessarily, the whole Mo3 sector would all mount up together and go against another sector. No, that's not true. Okay. That's actually the very opposite of things. And then over in the beef sector, it's kind of the same thing, right? there's different parts of the beef sector. So there's like this stuff over here, like Tracy and Bradley, Sean Bradley are going back and forth, but everybody doesn't like both of them. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that don't like either one of them, right? Or there's some people that fuck with Tracy a little bit more. There's some people that fuck with Sean Bradley a little bit more. But if something went down with Tracy, the entire beef sector and troll beef sector are not going to get together and fuck around and be like, oh yeah, that's not how that works, guys. Okay. So I'm not sure why y'all think we're supposed to do that over here. You know what I'm saying? Especially with how small this space is and how there are people that some of us just don't like, right? Like that's just what it is. I'm going to give y'all a prime example of that. Okay. And Gates actually mentioned this. And there was a couple of people that were talking about this. When Star made an asshole of herself over there on CTV show, what was it, 2 years ago now? When she went over there and made a whole ass of herself, right? Talking about breaking the culture, with, by the way, some of us in the sector like breaking the culture. Some of us can't stand that bitch, okay? If that bitch got ate up by sharks in other sectors, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not about to hop up and be like, oh no, she part of our sector. Yeah, no, fuck that shit. We going to war with these bitches. Get the fuck out of here. I don't like that bitch, okay? Period. So I wish I wouldn't mount up and go to war on this bitch over this bitch. You got me fucked up. But y'all might fuck with her, right? If you want to go to war over her on her behalf and go jumping up in other sectors and go toe to toe and blow to blow with motherfuckers that don't like her, okay, that's on you. Why do I have to unite over that? Do you understand? So I'm not understanding what the difference is between her or Stargate and what happened over there, because the same niggas that are like yelling about this right now, not Triggs, not Ghost, not anybody, okay? Not what's his name? Who started this whole thing? None of y'all Binary, not even Binary had her back over there on CTV's fucking show, okay? So what the hell are y'all talking about now? Stargate is very much a part of this sector. She's been in this sector probably longer than me. She's been in this sector probably definitely longer than Breaking, definitely longer than CE. Like, Stargate has been around, okay? So I'm not sure why now we're supposed to mount up and all go after an entire sector. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, why? Okay? Because again, there's some of us that like Stargate, and there's some of us that can't stand that bitch, okay? So most of the people that can't stand that bitch, that's the reason why we were over there. Yeah, like, fuck this stupid hoe, you dumb bitch, because that's how we feel about the bitch. Like, period. It just is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna change that about me, right? So if Star decided to go out here and argue with Mahogany because Mahogany was cussing Binary the fuck out, right? And she decided to go argue with her, she's got to face Mahogany's fucking crew. That's just what it is. She's going to argue with her, and her audience is going to fuck Stargate up. Do you think because the sector is we supposed to be a united front, all 70 of us are supposed to go running over there and be like, oh, fuck no, hell no, we gonna cuss you the fuck out, we going for you, we about to find out where you live? What are you talking about? Okay, I really need y'all to pull it together, okay? And I'm not saying that I got a beef with any of y'all or any of that. Y'all know I fucking love y'all. I fuck with Triggs, I fuck with Binary, I fuck with Ghost, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand what you mean about this turning coats and this, this war and this whole thing. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Now, I did hear Ghost say that, right? He was like, we're not about to be out here doxing nobody. I also heard Triggs say that too. We're not about to be out here pulling people's information and doxing people and all this. It ain't even that deep, right? We don't understand why, and I agree. Not understanding the whole General Lee, Kip, with that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it, right? I get that, yeah, You can roast these niggas if you want to and all that stuff. But why do we need to be united as a sector to do that? We've never done that. We've never done that in the history of the sector. That has never happened. Although people have gone to other places and argued with other people. You understand what I'm saying? So what are we, why now? Give me some understanding and some clarity on why 2 years ago, when Stargate was getting her ass chewed up by the church sector, chewed up and spit out for several days, none of y'all mounted up and went over there to help her. None of y'all. Not even Binary. As a matter of fact, Binary, you were on their side. Okay? So why then was it okay? But now, because it's conscious energy, all of us are supposed to forget about whether we like him or not, forget about whether we fuck with him or not, but because he's in this sector, we have to go to war with men over some stupid shit, right? This is what us women are supposed to be doing. I don't understand what you're talking about, okay? So because I feel that way doesn't mean that I don't fuck with niggas in this sector. I'm always going to fuck with you niggas. I'm always going to fuck with y'all and come around and give y'all support and love y'all and, you know, and you know, talk my shit with y'all. And I'm always going to do that shit. But I'm not going to be held to only this space. Do you understand? And that's where I want to get to with G Gates, because you were like, yeah, you can take a break if you want to, and you can do this if you want to, but you either in the sector or you out. Well, who made you God? Who made you the decision maker over that? Because wherever we want to go is where the fuck we want to go to. Just like you have an entire podcast where you don't even talk about sector shit, right? Is that okay? Yes, it is. So it's okay for me to do that too. It's okay for Ghost to do that too. It's okay for the Godfather to do that too. We don't have to sit here and dedicate our time and energy to only this space. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? You must have. Because I don't know about you, but I'm going to go wherever I want to go. I'm going to go and chill with where, you know, and chill in whoever's, you know, audience that I choose to. And that's not your concern, sir. And where are we going to start tallying and you know, who goes where and who has wrenches where and why they should or shouldn't be in that? This is childish. This is sounding very AFW-like. And I'm going to need that shit to stop because we are grown, okay? Some of us are grandparents, and we don't need any of y'all to be dictating who we can go talk to, who we can hang out with, and if we're in this space, then now we're turncoats and all this. What the fuck are you talking about? I can go wherever I want to go to, and I can enjoy whoever's content I want to. When I happen to go over there and I'm over and, you know, listening to something, I don't even be hearing nobody talking about y'all. That's on God, okay? I don't know what the fuck you talking about. But these niggas don't be talking about y'all. So if this is what y'all feel y'all need to do and y'all want to go to war and all this with the manosphere, go to war with the manosphere. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I went to war with Breaking. That was me. I didn't mount up the whole sector and ask the sector to come with me. That was my decision to fuck that bitch up. Do you understand? That was me. All me. Now, I had supporters. I had people that fuck with me. I had people that didn't fuck with her and was in on it. You understand what I'm saying? But what does that got to do with the entire sector? There wasn't a single time that I came down on any of y'all for whether y'all wanted to be in her space or not. If y'all wanted to go over there and fuck with her and listen to her side, did I ever come at any of you about that? Not one motherfucking time. You know why? Because y'all are grown. Y'all could go talk to whoever the fuck you want to. Y'all could go and enjoy whoever's content you want to. You can go and support whoever you want. And I never treated any of you different after the fact. And there was plenty of you. Plenty of y'all, most of the sector, listened to both sides and came to your own conclusions about it. Some of you to this day still don't agree with me about that shit. but we still fuck with each other. You still come over here. I still welcome you in my chat. I still hang with you. I still laugh and joke with you and everything. Like nothing ever happened. Because it doesn't matter. Right? In the long scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Like Ghost was saying last night, we only on here talking shit on the internet. It ain't that fucking deep. Do you understand? So I need y'all to just stop this shit. Just please. Let's get back to normal thinking, right? And when we're talking about, growing as a sector, like the Godfather has been saying, like I've said, like Drama has said, when we're talking about growing as a sector, Gates, that doesn't mean, you got to bring 1 million people in. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is expand your own content. If you start expanding your content, you will attract another audience of people outside of the sector. I've proven that. Binary has proven that. Multiple people in the sector have proven that already. That is what the Godfather is saying. You do not have to stick to talking about just stuff going on in the sector. There's other things going on in the world. It might be a slow growth with this type of algorithm. But we as a sector could actually change that if we started pushing other content together. And we were all doing that. YouTube would eventually open this sector up. They would eventually open up this algorithm. But the algorithm is so tight-knit because we're only talking about mostly sector stuff. So if we all expanded our own palette and expanded into other things and started talking about other things, right? Yes, the sector would grow. That is what he's talking about. Not bringing people in to beef and bringing people in. What are you talking about? If you want to go beef with somebody, go beef with them. If you don't beef with them, right? Like this, it's that easy. This ain't rocket science, right? But don't pull nobody else up in that shit. Don't act like the whole sector has to agree, because you know damn well, depending on who it is, the whole sector doesn't have to agree. Just like they didn't have to agree when Stargate got her ass ate up over there on CTV show in front of thousands of people. Right? Why has that policy changed from then to now? Is what I don't get. I didn't even know there was a policy. I didn't get the memo. Because I go where I want to go. I hang out with whoever I want. If I find it entertaining, I'll be there. That's just what it is. There's no hate, no love lost, no none of that. So, Eyes is a part of the sector, guys. She's most definitely a part of this sector. I don't care about this. She only came in when everybody has a reason when they stepped into this sector. Every single person that's in this sector right now has a story on how they found the sector. Period. It don't matter what the story is. It don't matter how long ago the story took place. But every single person can remember the day when they first learned about the sector. There were some people that had no idea about this side of the sector, right? They only knew about Lenin. There's some people that still don't know about this side of the sector. They only knew about Lenin. It's the same thing everywhere else. It's not any different. So no, everybody in that sector is not going to mount up and fight. If Lenin got into it and started getting his ass kicked in a different sector, are all of y'all going to hop up and fight for Lenin? I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Because guess what? That's how most of us learned about each other, is from Lenin Honors Chat. Right? So, y'all gonna hop up and fight for Lenin? Y'all gonna go toe-to-toe for Lenin? I don't think y'all would. So again, people have favorites. People have people that they fuck with. And people are entitled to that, right? Absolutely entitled to that. People are allowed to, like this person or dislike that person. They're allowed to do that. If you want to battle for somebody on their behalf because you fuck with them, you're entitled to do that. Go do that. But don't expect me to follow you. I might follow you depending on who it is, right? If you coming for one of my niggas, I might. And if it ain't somebody that I fuck with on the other side of that, I might. If it's somebody I don't like on that, I might. Or I might not. But that doesn't make me any less valued of a content creator or a observer because I might or might not. This is YouTube. I have a real life. It ain't that damn deep. Just saying. And it should be the same way for everybody. We have real lives with real situations going on. These little beefs and roasts and stuff is for fun. It should be a hobby, not, a chore. It's for fun. And that's it. Shouldn't be anything more or anything less. Let's talk about the conversation that came out between Kip and TC. Because truth be told, I don't even know what he's talking about, right? I don't know if I want to know. All I know is that if you had some information, right, for that man, when it comes to integrity, there's some things that, you may have and information you may have, but I'm not sure why you would just publicly do that. If you felt like there was something that about TC, between TC and the Godfather, if you have an issue with the Godfather or I don't know what you do. All I know is I'm not sure why that didn't happen privately, right? Why you felt the need to say something about that publicly. Was it so because, y'all are in this money war lately where who's got bigger pockets? You know what I'm saying? Who's begging and who's not? Who's got this money? Who's got that money? And, it's entertaining. It's cute. But, I don't really get it. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. For me, there's some basic things that adults should have at our age, right? Like vehicles and, nice consoles in our vehicles, and these are things we should have at our age, right? Like, shout out to Eyes and Raw, but honey, these are things we should have already. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are just basic things that as us adults should definitely be, have in our possession at this point. Having money in your savings account, I don't know if 300,000, shout out to that, but having a nice substantial savings account is something that us adults in our 40s and 50s should most definitely have at this point in our lives, right? And shout out to those who aren't able to have those things, but shout out to those who do and have it together and are, doing things, in their families' lives and really shaking and moving for their families, right? But the bottom line is, it's like, at what point are we just showing off, you know what I'm saying, and just trying to, one up one person over the next, you know what I'm saying, and all this other stuff. At first, I thought it was going to stop with between Kip and Ray Triggs thing once Triggs showed that 300,000, you know what I mean? And then, okay, I thought we was going to stop there. It was entertaining, right? But now here we are with this. And it's like, TC was saying something very truthful, he was saying this ain't that deep where, we need to be at war with these men. We need to be fighting and battling to the level of doxing them and finding their information and all this other stuff. It's not that deep. If it gets that deep to you, it's time to cut this off, right? And the only comeback you had to that was giving him some alleged information that you had behind the scenes about that. And what I listened to Smoke say was, just let this go. Just let this go. Let this go. I don't know how much Smoke knew. Shout out to my bro Smoke. But I know that he has a way of quelling things before it gets big and before it gets ugly. I know that he likes to do that. I know that he has a gift of doing that. Sometimes he will catch the spirit and walk away. He knew that this was not something that should be made public. And that something, this is something that should be talked amongst y'all as men privately. And I want to commend him for that. I want to give him a big shout out for that. Because you're absolutely right. I don't even know what it is, right? Something about a contract and business. But shout out to those two brothers, Darrell and TC, if they're doing business with each other. Darrell is a hell of a person to do business with, for sure. And Ghost is as well. And so if the two of them are working together in business, I think that's their business, right? And, Kip, I'm not saying I don't know how you came about that resource, how you came about that information, right? I don't know. All I'm going to say is everything is not always what it seems and what it appears. And so it may appear that somebody was pillow talking with someone else. I don't know if they were. I don't know if they weren't. I wasn't there. But it may appear that way. But there's a lot of information that I even have about, things that were being passed around, per se. Recon information that is quite heavy. Much heavier than this Social Security bullshit, right? Information that would only be known by either the person themselves or a higher level of receipt of that information, through various systems. And so even if you have it and you have the opportunity to show, and thank God you didn't just ask to share your screen or something, right? I appreciate that, Kip. But if you have it and you feel so strongly about it, that is true. I'm not sure why you didn't have that conversation with that man. If you've been sitting on this for some time. And I would vet very, very strongly where you got information from. I don't got no problem with you, Kip. You cool with me. But that was crazy. That was crazy. Anyway, let me go ahead and get into y'all comments, and then I'm actually going to end the show because I do got some other things I want to do before I start back at work a little bit later on. But let me get back up here. You said shout out to Avila. I think I read all that already. All right. Hey, Riz, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, Godmother, salute, salute. I appreciate you. What's up, Slander God? Salute to you as well. You said exactly 100. You said, niggas think I'm joining Aunt T via CE. The same nigga that talk about CE scams. I belong to no sector, but the hip hop sector, 100. The same material married nigga who complains about a woman in Auntie's chat. I'm just saying, like, I'm not joining no, I'm not joining necessarily any other sector. I do think I've been, coming around here and hanging out with y'all. We've just named this the Secktah, and all that stuff. There's other people that have no idea what you're talking about when you talk about a sector, and then but they watch people that are part of a particular sector, you know what I mean, or they hang out over there or whatever, but they're not really, it's not like that. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, that's why I keep saying people need to expand their palette. Y'all need to get out and look at other things, because for some reason y'all think that we're all supposed to unite together, and nobody ever does that anywhere. You said, especially if the situation has nothing to do with you. Exactly. Like, what am I going to get into somebody else's beef for? For what? For what? They want to go over there arguing with other motherfuckers. Okay, I'm just saying. You said they tried you, Godmother, child. You said Nazi pray. I say, ladies, fall back. Let the men handle it. Exactly. This is why when the conversation that y'all were having on Pillz show yesterday about eyes and me and the women are strong and and eyes, and she's one of our, but is she really part of the sector? And she going to go over there and tell them everything? What are you talking about? Tell them everything about what? About what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they can't go back and look at all of our videos. Okay, they're still there. So ain't nobody about to take videos down because we're scared somebody in another sector is going to hear something about somebody we don't like. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what? That's our opinion of that person. And it's not going to change because somebody else in another place or space on YouTube has the same opinion. You understand? So I think it's wrong for y'all to pull us women into this. And that's just that, period. Eyes can go wherever she wants. She can go and support whoever she wants. People can have wrenches over there in Auntie's chat. That does not mean now they have to be thrown out of the sector. Are you crazy? Y'all done lost your mind saying that shit. For real. And thank you, Bucka Buck, because you're right. Us women don't need to be involved in this unless we want to. If Eyes wants to get in it, she can do that. She's allowed to do that. She's allowed to not like CE. She's allowed to talk about him just like he talks about her. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. I need y'all to stop that shit, because that shit is childish. You said we go where we want to go. Super facts. They're trying to limit you to this BS of space, right? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't believe y'all even want us to do anything like that. You said, Bucka Buck, some men are ladies, though, child. You said, right. You said, Riz, SMH. You said, I'm confused. I need names on who is making these accusations being spoken, who asked the whole sector to do anything. So even you said on your channel, let me go to that real quick. I'm going to just read what you said. And definitely yesterday, they were talking about this on Pillz show. They were saying how the whole sector needs to unite in front of other sectors and all this other stuff. You said, our sector can't even stick together around outsiders anymore. You said that. So that's like, okay, what do you mean by that? Do we all have to stick together? We all have to be on one united front, but yet that's not what the history of the sector has been. We all have not been on one united front, but yet y'all are wondering why we're not all doing this now because of what happened the other day. And like I said in your chat, I said, for me, it depends on who we're sticking together for. Like, that's just how I feel, right? I don't feel like I need to come together as an entire sector because I don't agree with everybody in this sector. If Anti got her ass chewed up in another part of another space, are we all going to unite and have one united front in front of other sectors? If Rev G got chewed up in some other space, are we all going to unite and have, each other's back in front of everyone else? That's what I'm talking about, Ray. So that's just a prime example, like from even just what you said. And then even what Gates was saying, even what Ghost was saying yesterday on the show as well. You said, right. You said like a lot in the sector might not fuck with Remix. He's cool with me. Right. Like he's cool as fuck to you, right? But if Remix got chewed up in front of another sector, I'm not hopping on Remix's side, and just because he's part of this sector. Like that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. You said Ray Triggs, I think G Gates. Yeah, he's one. You said Bucka. You said F that Lennon, right? I'm just saying that's an example of somebody that everybody knows we're not going to hop up and now we're going to fight on behalf of Lennon because he's part of this sector. But that would fall under even things like what you said, like our sector can't even stick together around outsiders, right? And how Eyes is turning coat and she's going to go tell them everything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is nuts. You said, I came by way of Umar and Sinetta, pause, 5 years ago. Damn, 4 freaking years, LOL. You said, I came by Umar Sinetta 5 years ago. Damn, 5 freaking years. You said, cut the crap. Hey, be more legend. You said, cut the crap. All y'all tried different content and it failed. The content is the same short bus story time. Bucka, that is correct. That's why the content is just like Lennon. So I disagree with that. I think that my content, even doing content within the T sector and stuff, I've gotten thousands and thousands of views on those. So that's not true. I just didn't stick with it. That's what that was. He said, I have said this before, this more a Lennon sector than Umar. Yeah, because that's where most of us actually met one another, right? Was over in the, it was in Lennon's chat. That's where most of us met, you know? So I'm not sure where, you know, this whole thing is. And then there's people that still are over there that would never fuck with this part of the sector. And they've never even been over here. They don't even know about it, right? You said, morning, Miss T, pre-chocolate drop. Hey, beautiful. I appreciate you being in the building. You said, most of the content creators in this side are Lennon rejects. You said, that's why the sector is so boring and repetitive. So I appreciate that because you're right. There's nothing like, are we going to keep talking about the same things over and over and over again? And we're supposed to stick with only this conversation. And that is what makes us part of our sector. Like, I'm confused about what they mean by that, right? So yeah, I agree. You said this sector would grow tremendously if the kerfuffling was lower than it has always been. Right. It's just not, that's just what it's going to be though, right? You said, hey, everyone. What's up, Eyes? Appreciate you being in the building. You said, salute to Smoke. You said, what the heck is a Lennon reject, child? You said, Eyes, remember your sector ideas? You said, isn't this YouTube? People can go where they want to go. What am I missing? Right. You said, sup, Eyes? You said, Buck all over the place. Remind me, please. You said, hey, Riz. You said, Eyes, remember a live you did last year, summertime around there, and the topic was taking everyone in the sector, making them like comic characters. Yeah, I do remember that conversation. I think it was like around September or so. You said, Eyes, that idea is stronger on my mind this year than when you first told it. You said, at Eyes, I know you're talking to Bucka because I don't want you typing all over the place, laughing my ass off, but don't let this sector limit you to just here. Fly like an eagle, sis. You said, LOL, Buck. Yeah, I have a script I've started. You remember I did a few times. You said, Miss T. Pre, there are validity to what Kip said last night. You said, Miss T. Pre, is there any validity to what Kip said last night? I don't know. As far as what he was saying to Ghost, I don't know. All I know is he said that he sent him something, and Ghost was, you know, pretty much saying like, yeah, me and Darrell do business together. So what? What's the problem? You know, and this is kind of what he was saying, you know. So I don't know if there's any validity to it or not. You said, Riz, never that. I'm boundless, my brother. You said, thanks, Riz. You said, Buck, some goes to you too, brother. I just didn't want Eyes replying to you and my comments at the same time. You said 100. Hey, I appreciate the $10 super chat. You said, good afternoon, Chocolate Drop. I appreciate the $10 super chat, sis. Definitely appreciate that. You said Riz. You said Eyes. You said Bucka. You said salute. I appreciate that. You said they've been sending videos to the news and human resources. What's the big deal, right? Child, just saying. I mean, why would, you know, that would be like an example of people who, certain people just don't fuck with. There's people that like anti-Afro and Rev G, right? And they're going to go and fight and battle with each other. But the entire sector is not about to mount up and fight for these people just because they're part of the sector, right? Like, I'm just saying, you got to look at it that way when you're asking us to join in on this fight, against the manosphere. Like, this is nuts. He said debates coming back to the sector. That would be nice to have that again, right? But perhaps LV has moved on, so maybe somebody else needs to pick that up, or whatever the case may be. What's up, Chat Lives? I remember Chat Lives being one of the first people in my chat and was like, ain't nobody here. I don't know why you even talking. That was 3 years ago, Chat Lives. Definitely appreciate you. And I'll always support you, bro. Thank you for all your support as well. Darrell, the Godfather, definitely appreciate you being in the building this morning. You said sector has to grow. We need new faces. And you know what, guys? I want to give you all an example of who's saying that, right? Because like this whole idea of the sector all being on the same page, I know y'all know, especially Triggs. Like, I know you know too, with the beef sector, that it ain't like that, right? But Sean Bradley was talking about that the other day. He was saying, y'all niggas is saying that y'all want new content, that y'all tired of the same storylines, that y'all tired of the same shit all the time. We need y'all with some new people to come up here and start making content and start doing stuff. Let some of us older ones that's been in the game for a little while sit back and watch y'all, right? This is what Sean Bradley said. He was saying, how they want fresh new faces. They need new beef. They need new conversations. They need new content. This is what we're talking about in the sector when we're talking about growing, right? It's not about necessarily the beef or bringing new beefs and everything if that's not what you really want to do. But if you want to expand your palette and expand your audience, you will eventually, bring new people in, right? And you'll start, getting those numbers and stuff like that. And if as a sector, the sector content creators were doing that, that would definitely expand the space, right? But that has to be something that people want to do. It has to be something that people want to happen. And again, like Hood is saying, the sector has to grow. In order for us to grow, we need new faces. We need new things to talk about. Like that's just period. Just saying. You said salute to the Godfather. You said shout out to Leon, right? You said hey to Riz. You said, where were y'all when Donat did a 2.5-hour live about me? Where were y'all? Okay, when Donat was over there snapping on Steph Collins, nobody was over there. Oh no, she in the sector. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious right now? Are y'all serious right now? In front of thousands of people, he did that too. You said, I unsub from that weirdo Steph. Sorry, that ain't for me. I can't stand Donat either. I really don't fuck with him either. I even went to war with Shakim over Donat, because Donat was disrespecting Shakim, and that was a person in the sector, not because he's part of the sector, but because and so yeah, I even said some shit to Donat over that. He said, Vici, the sector didn't ride for me. Okay, just say it. Pillz the Prince, you said, this is why I said now we can talk about relationships and more while dealing with the manosphere. Someone will have that it factor. You just have to do the content, grow the sector. Thank you. Exactly, Pillz. And that's all I want to see, right? I don't want to see, us having to take sides and the women in particular have to make, a decision about things and all this other stuff, because that's not fair to Eyes. That's not fair, to y'all, for her, to be in this position where, y'all are questioning whether she's part of the sector or not, and whether or not she should be allowed to be over here now. And this is nuts. This is crazy. This is stupid conversation. You said, hey, Miss T. Pre. Hey, Divine. I appreciate you being in the building. You said, damn, Chat Lives was throwing major shade. And there were people watching, but nobody was like talking in the chat. And he said that shit. That shit was hilarious, though. You said, Vici, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. JJ, yes, you fucking did, man. Shit. Trust me, every content creator remembers the first comment that they got. Trust me, they all do. Right. And usually it's something negative. I will say that. Like every content creator that has, done anything, they actually say that shit. So shout out to JJ. He says, so what is the problem with D-Realm and TC doing business together? What does any of that have to do with any of us? Nothing. Nothing at all. That's exactly right. You said Sean was right. You said right. That's what Sean said. You said facts. You said CLM. You said didn't the Mo3 and Beef Sector merge? So some people are saying it did over there, and some people are saying hell no, it didn't merge. Right? Like there's people like I think VS had a poll on it, and people were like no, and Fire Baby was definitely talking about that. She was like, like, how do you niggas, why are y'all saying, that like the people that's speaking for the beef sector are speaking, and I don't even fuck with these people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all gotta go and listen to some of these content creators because they're all not all on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't, all fucking with each other because they say they from the beef sector. There's people that's claiming the beef sector. And people in the beef sector that's been in the beef sector for years are like, we don't know these bitches. Like, that's what they said. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's how it is over there. It's not this united front and united sector and all this other stuff. It just isn't. You said everyone in this sector ignored everyone that was cooking on the purge and attached little old Aunt and attacked little old Aunt T, shows character. You said Steph Collins, I didn't know that. I could not stand listening nor watching him. Sorry. Yeah, I don't really fuck with Deny either. You said Vici Chat Lives is always throwing shade. His is a Da Vinci resolve. You said Riz Lyricist, nah, I caught some of the beef sector up there. Mm-hmm. You said make a change. I predict you'll be making a change to resolve in 2024. You said Clark, the sector didn't roll out for me. Okay. Hey, Spirit Mouse, definitely appreciate you being in the building. You said, hey, what's up, T-Pre in chat? You said Stephanie. You said Divine, I know, sis, but what I'm saying is at least gear the attention towards others. Auntie is the main topic when all the dude did was host another successful purge. I smell jealousy in that aspect. I don't really see it that way. I'm going to say this. So, all right. And this is probably going to be my final time talking about this whole thing. But the purge situation is this, right? I think people are just reading way too deep into it. I think both sides are doing that, right? I get it. I get the idea of this is, y'all been doing this thing for years over there. But, we can say the same thing. Shout out to Slander God and his 12 o'clock show on Friday. This is something we've been doing for a very long time over here. We use the same purge music, and everything. He even has his own, conversation that the lady says, would God be with you all and all that. He has his own thing, his own spin on that. And we have been going back and forth with each other and kind of purging each other for a very long time. This is something we've done in this sector for a while. There's other sectors that do the same thing. They call it the Coliseum, this, they call it that. The Mo3 has that. There's all kinds of that going on YouTube, okay, in Black YouTube. So I get where Auntie was saying, right? Because it was the optics of it all. It was just where, like, a couple days later, CE decided, oh, yeah, we're going to do this too for the Umar sector, but then turned around and invited other sectors, right? It's not like you only, advertise this to us. You advertise this to multiple sectors, right? And they came out. They showed out and supported, right? Some of them came and watched. Some of them, got on the panel. Most of them wanted to roast you, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what happened. The show ended pretty early, and that's kind of what happened. And, we know for sure that there were bots that were bought, and so forth, which YouTube has now caught up with and kind of taken those out of the game. But, he's back up to his whatever viewership that he had on that. Shout out to CE for having it. We all had our own opinions on it. I had an opinion about the duck in the corner, and all this other stuff. Because like I said, if you're going to represent an entire sector, I feel like the optics could be something that you can at least look at. And that's my opinion about it, right? But he had a show. It is what it is. Everybody came out, they watched the show, we laughed, we joked. I think it's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's time on both sides to move on from this. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. These niggas want to go back and forth with each other. That's on them, right? But yeah, I definitely think that, it's at this point, it's just been talked about ad nauseum, and none of us really care, who had the best purge and who didn't and everything else. I mean, if you talk about when it comes to the optics of it, I liked Auntie's a little bit better, right? I really did. I also think that there were a lot more people that knew about Auntie's purge. If other people had knew about CE's purge, his probably would have been just as good, to be honest. Let's be real. Even with the duck in the corner, right? His probably would have been just as well. But it wasn't, because most people didn't know about it, right? So if he does a little bit more advertising before he does it again, if he does, his own theme work, if he gets the duck off the corner, or he keep the duck, because at this point the duck has become just kind of something, right? Like I'm about to put my damn duck up. Shit, I'm just saying. Like the duck is kind of something everybody's talking about and laughing about now, right? Like he kind of brought the duck and made the duck actually, kind of popular at this point, right? So shout out to CE for that. But yeah, I'm just saying that, at this point, I think it's time to just move on from it. But who knows? You said tea time, D7. You said Riz, I hear that. You said Stephanie, yes, it's tea time right now. You said Steph Collins, girl, that man is too much. Sorry, you had to experience that. He is too much, child. You said even Shish Trish called out slander and he fell asleep. Okay, yeah. And shout out to Shish Trish. I know she be watching my show too, because I be seeing her in my YouTube be letting you know who watch your shit and all that. Yeah. So shout out to her, because she be over here watching us too. That's what I'm saying about, like, certain parts of the beef sector. She fuck with some people, and there's some people she don't, right? And there's people that don't fuck with her, and but I still watch them, right? I watch both of them, right? So I'm not about to take sides and do all this other shit. It's entertainment, like, period. You said sounds like us, low key. Just saying, right? You said mine. If I merge my sector, I'm paranormal sector, but been over here for years also, child. You said Divine 100. You said Clark. He contacted a client of mine for an interview. My client told him to fuck off. That's a damn shame, girl. That's a motherfucking shame. And he is a real doxer. That nigga be doxing the shit out of motherfuckers all the fucking time. Denat is ridiculous. He is so fucking ridiculous. Like, and he's had like major problems with other people, like Official King Payne and Sean Davy Way. He's had all kinds of issues with everybody. Jaguar, everybody. You said super facts. I see what you mean, Godmother. You said CE's was definitely better. And I'll be honest, let's be honest, right? That all depends on your opinion about things, right? Your point of view of things. From somebody else's point of view, they might really think that CE's was better than Auntie's, right? Based off of how you know both of them, based off of how you feel about both of them. And then it might be somebody that feels that way about Auntie, right? So it all depends on, the audience's opinion. And, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. And I think people should be free to make those opinions, right? Without having, somebody breathing down our backs about it. You said at Steph Collins, and oh no, well, now I am sure that client is glad that they did an interview with him. Child, I'm sure they did. Yep, honey, we got the duck in the corner. Yeah. You said, do the duck walk. Do the duck walk. Hey, the duck walk. Okay. You said, salute to the paranormal sector. All right, guys. So we out of here. I appreciate y'all being in the building and listening to me rant about this thing, because like I said, this conversation for me was pretty heavy, right? It was things I wanted to say. I knew was not going to rub everybody the right way, but I felt like I needed to say it because, somebody's got to speak up on this stuff. And, I'm looking forward to hearing your opinions in regards to it. But that's mine. So I appreciate y'all for coming in the building. Make sure y'all do hit the like button on the way out. And guys, I will talk to y'all later. Peace, guys. And thank you for watching.